In this episode, we will witness drivers take on deep water like it's just a puddle, only to get stranded, soaked, and seriously regretting their choices. He thought he was James Bond. Turns out, he was just stuck. If you can't see the road, don't test the waters. Hit the gas through floodwaters like it was an action movie, and gave roadside shops an unexpected makeover. High-end cars and deep water don't mix, unless you're aiming for an unplanned submarine adventure. Just a foot of water can sweep your car away. 2 feet and your truck's taking a swim. Ever see someone so confident in a terrible idea that you almost respect it? Meet today's genius. Spots a flooded bridge, sees the bridge barricades, and thinks, I'll be fine. Spoiler, he is not fine. Your truck ain't a submarine, so don't test it. Deep water can kill your engine, stall your ride, and drain your wallet. In this clip, watch as Bob, we'll call him that for now, attempts to cross what looks like a shallow current. But Mother Nature has other plans. Let's just say this adventure ends with more floating than driving. Watch as this Aussie driver learns the wet and wild way why crossing floodwaters is a no-go. And the water wins. A customer brings in their car after braving what was definitely more than just a puddle. Spoiler, the engine is now a very expensive paperweight. This driver confidently plows into a flooded street, only to learn the hard way that cars aren't waterproof. Shocking, right? Watch this driver dive into a flooded road, only to realize he's in way over his head. A few inches of water can turn your ride into a submarine. If you can't see the road, don't drive through it. Water as shallow as a foot can sweep a car away, and even less can ruin your engine. He wanted a road trip, but the flood had other plans. One moment he's driving, the next, his car's starring in Titanic 2. If you can't see the road, don't test the waters. Watch as a driver boldly maneuvers their small car into floodwaters in this video, only to discover too late that deep water and small wheels don't mix. Now, while it's easy to laugh, it's also a serious reminder of why you should never drive through flooded streets.
You're far the water there. Away the lock off. Away the bomb book, lad. Watch ya. He brought down in front of me to blood clot.
This is a classic case of do as I say, not as I do. If you see someone else stranded in floodwater, it's not a challenge to test your car's flotation device. It's a sign to find an alternate route. Think your car is built to conquer anything? Well, this clip might change your mind. Watch as a few overconfident drivers pull up to a flooded tunnel, convinced their superior vehicles will handle it, only to end up stuck in deep water. In this clip, watch as our fearless, or maybe just fearless in the wrong way, driver tackles the infamous Rufford Ford, where logic takes a backseat and water takes the wheel. This determined Audi driver tries to outsmart a flooded road. Turns out, water's not impressed by horsepower. They think they own the road, but it's the floodwater that owns them.
Here we go.
Cars versus deep water. A battle no one wins.
Flooded
Yet,
together?
here we are, watching drivers channel their inner action hero. He thought his Jeep could handle anything, until the flood decided to take it for a ride. One moment he's in control, the next he is just a passenger. Motorcycles love the open road, but floods, not so much. Watch this driver tackle floodwaters with the confidence of an action hero, only to end up starring in a tragedy. Watch these drivers turn floodwaters into their personal splash zone. Let's be real. No matter how flashy it is, a Lamborghini is just a very expensive submarine in a flood. This clip shows drivers taking on flash floods like it's a speed bump, only to get caught in rising waters.
No, we won't, bro. We won't. We're not gonna make it. We're not. It's getting. Miles! No. No.
Think your car's a boat? These drivers did, until floodwaters had other plans. Watch as they go from confident captains to castaways in seconds. Spoiler, water always wins. California driver versus deep floodwaters. Spoiler, the flood wins. Nice try though. If you can't see the road, you shouldn't be driving on it. Save your car and your dignity. If you're eyeing that puddle like a daredevil, think again. Even the Hulk of SUVs can turn into a very expensive boat.
И он, по-моему, встал. Ёс!
Someone attempted to cross a flooded road in a lifted truck, hoping that extra height will give them the edge. That little puddle might be a car trap. Hidden potholes, engine trouble, or a free trip downstream? Hard pass. Watch as this brave delivery driver decides to take on the floodwaters of Trinidad like it's just another rainy day. If you see water covering the road, turn around. It's not worth the risk. Trust us, your car will thank you, and so will your insurance. Floods can hide dangerous obstacles like debris or potholes, and driving through can make the situation worse, leaving you stuck and needing a tow truck, which is not a fun day out.
Out of water.
Watch as this driver fearlessly and questionably tackles a flooded road. Spoiler, it's a wet mess.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Sometimes, the best reaction to a bad decision is simply a stare of disbelief. Here's what happens when "I got this" meets "oops, nope." Watch as a driver takes on a flooded road and gets hit with a splash of reality, stuck halfway through. Driving through floods? Not only are you risking your ride, but you're also creating a whole mess for first responders. An overly optimistic driver takes on the Upper Jameson Hut River crossing in Victoria's High County. Watch the fails and remember. A driver barrels through a simple water crossing, only to find out their car's more highway than poolside.
Holy toss it, splash right on the top.
Watch as a van attempts to brave deep water, only to end up destroying itself. What starts as a hold my beer moment ends as a perfect lesson in why flooded roads are for boats, not cars. Flooded streets, where your car turns into a pricey boat and Mother Nature's horsepower beats your engine. He behaves as if he owned the road, just splashing the water on others like it's a water game. Watch as our hero attempts to drive through deep floodwaters, only to get stuck and add another entry to the What Not to Do in a Flood handbook. This driver takes a gamble with a flood that's clearly too deep to cross. It's like they forget how water works, and physics. People trying to drive through floods and getting stuck, because clearly, water doesn't care how fancy your vehicle is. When you think your car's a boat, but it's really just a water fountain. That's not just a fail, it's a crash course in safety. Flooded roads? Big no-no. It could wreck your car or your day. Drivers defy all logic and end up stranded in water that would make a seasoned lifeguard nervous. Watch as a guy with questionable life choices takes his convertible through deep water, only to end up stranded. A small car with big dreams. Dreams of conquering floodwaters. As he pushes through rising floodwaters, it's clear that his car wasn't built to navigate rivers. Flooded roads. Not just a hazard to your car and ego, but to your life too. You never know what's lurking beneath. When in doubt, don't floor it. What starts as a bold power through turns into a classic stuck and doomed moment. Oops. Watch as this impatient driver tailgates through a flooded serviceway just to gain a car length, only to get stuck in the rising water. One guy spots a slick shortcut on the flooded Florida roads and thinks, I'll just squeeze by. This man confidently drives his car straight into deep floodwater, only to quickly realize, yep, his engine is now underwater. Our guy got a crash course in why you should always stay alert behind the wheel. Four-wheel drive trucks are great for off-roading, but they won't help you outrun a flash flood. Water can rise faster than you can stay stuck, and being stranded is no off-road adventure. Don't let that little water fool you. The video shows a few bold individuals trying to maneuver their way through deep flooding, showing what not to do if you don't have a 4x4. This is an overconfident driver who thinks he can outsmart a flood. Thought he was smart, passing on the right side during a flood, until the water said nope, and his plan sank faster than his pride. Here's a lesson in how not to drive through a flood, featuring a guy who thought he could handle this. Next time you see a waterlogged street, do yourself a favor. Avoid it or find a higher route. What happens when you decide to take your trusty Land Rover through a flood? Well, it's not a water park ride.
Fuck. Oh, I've got a wet ass. Oh my god.
Let's watch this shit.
We've got a guy dealing with a bit of a slight tornado and some serious flooding.
Oh, he's floating, buddy. God, man, we gotta help this.
Watch as a driver takes a wave to the face and narrowly dodges a truck. Talk about a close call that'll leave you gasping.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Our friend here clearly didn't get the memo on the waited out part, and now he's in a bit of a jam. A driver makes the classic mistake of thinking that speed is the answer when it comes to floodwaters. Spoiler, it's not.
Yeah, I've just fucking crashed into a river, dude.
If you get stuck, it's not just your bike that's in trouble. It's you too. Someone makes a decision that's about as smart as wearing flip-flops in a snowstorm. As sea waves rise, this driver thinks they can just power through it.
What a charger! What a charger! This guy's a legend.
Some brave, or perhaps misguided souls drive straight into deep floodwaters, as if they're testing their car's amphibious abilities. These drivers think they're invincible, only to find themselves stuck in waist-deep water, desperately trying to get out. This clip is a reminder of how quickly a flooded bridge can go from, maybe I can make it, to, this was a terrible idea. What seems like a harmless splash can quickly turn into a car-wrecking, danger-filled disaster. We see the true consequences of not reading the weather report when you're driving a Lamborghini through a flooded Dubai. Now, while this might seem like a smart stunt, it's actually a perfect example of what not to do during a flood. If you've ever thought, it'll be fine, I've got a big truck, think again. When water gets higher than your tires, it's not just your car's engine that's at risk. Your safety is too. When the rain hits and the roads turn into rivers, some folks treat it like a kiddie pool. As the water rises, so does the level of regret. Watch as drivers attempt to cross flooded roads, only to get stuck in a battle between horsepower and nature's power. A $1 million car meets a non-$1 million decision. We watch as drivers in the whirl bravely and mistakenly tried to push through flash floods, only to end up stuck and needing rescue. When a GTR 63 meets a flooded road, beautiful engineering. But Mother Nature's not impressed. Watch this hilarious, yet educational clip of people testing the limits of their vehicles in deep water.
Some Mafron in the black sedan just tried to do the same thing 5 minutes later.
With electrics shorting out and the sump probably cracked, this is why slow and steady is the real winner, especially when the road's a giant puddle. After rolling boldly into the deepest section of the flood, our guy discovers, shockingly, that engines and water don't mix. This Jeep thought it had the mud game mastered at Bundy Hill, until it didn't. This driver learned the hard way that deep water doesn't care about the off-road package. Thank you so much for watching this video. Here are 2 more videos that we think you'll like. Click on one to keep watching.